Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day Fiance. All about Leida Margareth's emotional letter to the judge after her baby's death. 90 Day Fiance alum Leida Margareth has been through a lot in recent years. First, she faced several compatibility issues with her husband, Eric. Furthermore, they had an abusive relationship where both of them were physically and mentally abusive toward each other. However, the final stroke came last month when her 5-week-old daughter passed away. Authorities arrested Leida a week later after her daughter's death due to bail jumping and other felony charges. 90 Day Fiance alum Leida Margareth has been through a lot in recent years. First, she faced several compatibility issues with her husband, Eric. Furthermore, they had an abusive relationship where both of them were physically and mentally abusive toward each other. However, the final stroke came last month when her 5-week-old daughter passed away. Authorities arrested Leida a week later after her daughter's death due to bail jumping and other felony charges. Leida Margareth's legal battles continue to escalate in 2025. Earlier this year, police arrested her on charges of domestic violence and animal abuse after she allegedly hit the family dog and threatened to harm herself. She was released on bail and later revealed she was pregnant. But things took a darker turn on July 17th when Wisconsin authorities arrested her again for bail jumping. The court immediately ordered her to surrender her passport and banned her from leaving the state, citing her as a potential flight risk. Prosecutors claim Leida had planned to flee to Indonesia, citing her statement about getting a passport for her daughter and wanting to reunite with her son from a previous relationship. She also remains a suspect in her infant daughter's tragic death. Meanwhile, Leida and her husband Eric have ended their marriage and announced their separation on Facebook. A court hearing is scheduled for August 27th. Leida recently wrote a letter to the judge, trying to clear out her perspective about the entire bail jumping misunderstanding. She explained that authorities charged her with bail jumping because she didn't update her new address and phone number. While she accepted that she fell behind, she said it happened because of the emotional distress she was going through. The reality TV star wrote this letter on July 17th, while she remained behind bars. She explained that she never intended to avoid updating her information, but she simply couldn't do it after losing her child. She said she was not in the mental space to think clearly and felt devastated as a mother. Because she couldn't think straight, she failed to update her documents. Margareth clarified that she remained unaware of things happening in her life over the past few weeks. She shared that she couldn't eat, sleep, or think clearly because of the death of her 5-week-old baby. As a grieving mother, she asked the judge, who is also a mother, to understand her situation. Leida said she has been spending her days mourning the loss and dealing with the overwhelming grief. She tried to explain her intentions and what led to the violation. She expressed hope that the judge would understand her circumstances and revoke the charges against her. The 90 Day Fiance franchise has given us some of the most talked-about couples, heart-wrenching moments, and unforgettable drama. Yet, behind the cameras and reality TV headlines are real people with real struggles. Few stories have shaken fans quite like the tragic chapter in the life of Leida Margareth, who first appeared on 90 Day Fiance alongside her now husband Eric Rosenbrook. What started as a controversial love story, marked by family feuds, public backlash, and tense scenes, took an unthinkable turn with the devastating loss of Leida and Eric's baby. In the wake of that tragedy, Leida penned an emotional letter to the judge presiding over an unrelated case, one that carried significant implications for her family's future. The letter wasn't just a formal statement. It was a raw, heartbreaking window into a woman processing unimaginable grief while begging for understanding and compassion. Leida's journey from Indonesia to American reality TV. Before diving into the letter, it's important to understand who Leida is and why her story already carried such weight. Hailing from a prestigious family in Indonesia, Leida was a trained medical professional who came to the U.S. to be with Eric a military veteran from Wisconsin. Their 90-day fiancé journey in Season 6 was marked by explosive drama, including Leida's strained relationship with Eric's daughter and fans criticizing her for being controlling and entitled. Despite public backlash and even reported death threats at the time, the couple stayed together, building a life away from the reality TV spotlight. They tried to create a normal family life, welcoming a new child into their blended household. A heart-shattering loss. The couple's happiness was tragically cut short when their infant passed away. Sources close to the family revealed that Leida was deeply affected, withdrawing from social media and stepping away from public life altogether. Unlike many former 90-day fiancé cast members who used tragedy to gain followers or fame, Leida and Eric chose privacy. But behind closed doors, the pain was unbearable. Friends reported she barely slept and spent hours holding baby clothes, unable to let go of the dreams she and Eric had for their child. In the weeks following, she channeled her grief into something unexpected, an emotional letter. The letter to the judge. The letter came during a court proceeding unrelated to the baby's passing, but critical to Leida's family life. While legal details remain private, insiders say the case involved custody issues and a petition affecting Eric and Leida's ability to make decisions for their remaining family. Leida's letter was handwritten, raw, and deeply personal. She didn't just state facts or request leniency. She poured her heart into every sentence. One passage reportedly read, "I am not writing as someone who has been on television. I am writing as a mother whose heart has been ripped from her chest. My baby is gone, and I cannot change that. I cannot go back in time. Every morning, I wake up hoping it was a nightmare, but reality is cruel, and it waits for me by the crib that is now empty." She went on to explain how her grief had reshaped her understanding of life and responsibility. Losing a child changes you forever. It changes how you see every decision, every conflict, and every choice you make as a parent. I am begging this court to see me not as someone people have judged on TV, but as a mother who has known the worst pain imaginable. A plea for compassion. At its core, Leida's letter wasn't just about grief. It was a plea for compassion and fairness. She admitted mistakes from her past, something rare for someone so often defensive on reality TV, but emphasized her commitment to moving forward as a better person and parent. When you lose a baby, you stop thinking about winning or losing arguments. You start thinking only about love. My baby's short life taught me that love is the only thing that matters. I will never stop fighting for my family, but I am asking the court to allow me to do it from a place of healing, not punishment. The judge's response. While judges rarely comment on emotional pleas, reports say Leida's letter visibly moved those present. One legal observer said, "You could feel the entire courtroom shift when her words were read." It's rare to see that kind of vulnerability in a legal setting. Though the court outcome has been kept mostly confidential, sources close to the couple hinted at a resolution that allowed the family to heal together, something Leida credited to her decision to write the letter. Fans' reaction. News of the letter leaked through fan groups and quickly became a hot topic. Many who had previously criticized Leida for her harsh words toward Eric's daughter during 90 Day Fiancé were surprised to see this side of her. Social media lit up with comments like, "I didn't like her on the show, but this broke my heart." Grief changes people. I hope she finds peace. This is a reminder that reality TV doesn't tell the whole story. For perhaps the first time since appearing on TV, Leida was viewed through a lens of empathy rather than judgment. The bigger conversation, reality stars as real people. Leida's story underscores an important point often overlooked by fans of reality TV. These individuals, regardless of how they are portrayed, are still human beings. Grief doesn't discriminate between villains and heroes, and the pain of losing a child is universal. Many former 90 Day Fiancé cast members reached out privately to express condolences, including those who had clashed with her in the past. The loss created a rare moment of solidarity in a fandom often divided by drama. Life after the letter. Leida and Eric have since focused on healing privately. Sources say they are in counseling and have taken steps to keep their family life off social media. While they have not returned to the 90-day spotlight, fans occasionally spot them in Wisconsin, where they live a quiet life. In interviews since, Eric has praised his wife's resilience, saying, "She wrote that letter in the darkest time of our lives. I've never been more proud of her." Leida has said little publicly, but shared one simple post on Instagram months later. Healing isn't about forgetting. It's about learning to live again. A legacy of love and pain. Leida Margareth's emotional letter to the judge will likely never be fully released to the public, but the impact of her words has already been felt far beyond any courtroom. It serves as a reminder that behind reality TV scandals and public perceptions, there are real human stories of love, loss, and the search for redemption. For fans, it is a sobering chapter in the often glamorous world of reality TV, and a testament to how even the most polarizing figures can experience the same heartbreak as anyone else.